mattresses, and I'll try to go short. Why does this offend me? I talked about dropping off a mattress. We'll document it. And it was a mattress donated to Big Charlie from Timmins. And I dropped it off here in Flower Bluff. Of course, they live illegally in the camps. But the day I dropped it off, there was somebody that lives here. We saw the vehicle because the guys were telling me, oh, somebody's videotaping us with the phone. Okay, or taking pictures. And then I took them after we dropped the mattress off. It was an innocent thing. But then we went to the post office box. One of the guys had a post office box. And the people, it was a resident here. I had no ill will towards that resident. I don't know who they are. But the thing that upset me was, the next day my daughter Debbie said, 2 code enforcement people, till this day they won't say who these guys were. But they came to the house here. We're documenting for CNN, Chief Markle, and Fox. So they came to the house and told my daughter Debbie Chiarello, oh, your dad dropped off the mattress, and it was like an illegal dumping. And if your dad goes to pick up the mattress, we won't give him a fine. What they were doing, I guess because of the indecent exposure accusation, they were waiting. I didn't know I was going to settle that honestly like I did. But they were waiting for like one more offense, and then we'll do an arrest. That's what they did. Okay, but they lied to my daughter. They said if your father picks up the mattress, brings it back, which I did, I brought it back here, that everything will be okay. Now, I'm sure those 2 motherfuckers are laughing their ass off because they knew that Officer Nichols called them and said, go to the house, say this. I consider all of your lies, especially dealing with my kids, highly offensive to me. So, that day we came home. I came back to the house, or I took one of the guys, we went and got the mattress. It was right here in Flower Bluff, off of Compton or one. And I put it in the garage. David Martin said I could use the mattress. Later, that was the arrest day. Now, I remember, of course, everything hits the fan, but I wasn't screaming. I just said, well, deal with it righteously. But there's a lot going on during that. Then we got a letter, a subpoena for the mattress dumping. And I remember my wife said, they said if you picked it up, there'd be no fine. They lie. Now that was on my mind because of my children. Because Chief Markle, not only do you commit adultery as far as I understand, but you lie to my fucking kids. That upsets me, Chief. That upsets me. And my wife used to say, why does that upset you? We're documenting. Because Chief Markle, I didn't appreciate that. So I finally figured after we settled all the things, I would deal with it. And that's when I went to the PD one day, police department, so-called, and said, look, this offended me because you told my daughters, and they sent me to internal affairs, which I told that story before. Said, I'm here about the mattress. Eventually, I went to code enforcement, which moved, because I had to go to court over the mattress. And I did 6 months probation on dumping of the mattress. I also did 30 days community service or whatever at the food bank for the other thing, which was false. But I did go to code enforcement maybe a year ago. Now this is what they did. I'll tell you how they lied. All I ever wanted was those 2 code enforcement guys, which are run by the cops. Why did you lie to my daughter? Because my daughter Debbie innocently called me, and I was at Timmins. But that was like a little joke. You're a fucking disgrace to humanity when you lied to my kids. Okay? I don't appreciate what you did that day to my daughter. And then my wife saying, oh, they said they would drop it, they lied to Debbie. How do you even present yourself, sir? I went to code enforcement a few years after all of this was settled. This was about a year ago. Now look how they lied to me. I went upstairs to code enforcement. They moved to City Hall. I said, look, this was just the thing that you lied to my kids. I want to find out the people that day from code enforcement, which is under the police department, who came to my door and lied to my daughter. That's it. Okay, the lady in the front of code enforcement's upstairs at City Hall. She comes out, give us your address. I said, yes. Now, the guy in the back, who's code enforcement, and also like a cop, I guess, he comes out, and he heard the whole conversation. And I said, I just want to find out, I wasn't even looking for the person who took the pictures. I'm sure it's a citizen. Over time, they probably thought John's unstable, so let's never give that name out. I don't care about that person. He took the pictures, I understood that. I wanted the name of the two code enforcement people who lied to Debbie. Now, the code enforcement guy, they lie here. He came out, and he had a printed picture of a border patrol or sheriff deputies standing next to the van, or not the van, standing next to something and saying, oh, see, these men took the pictures that day. They were cops. No, they didn't take the pictures. It was, we saw the vehicle that took, they did that like for protection, thinking John's. They lied. And I said, no, I need the names of the people that came to the house and notified my daughter of what I explained. They never did that. They kind of covered that up. That upset me, because you also came out in your official capacity. You had a little paper, a printout, and it was a printout of two sheriff's deputies or two, maybe it was law enforcement officials. And you told me that day, these are the people who took the pictures. No, look, I'm not an asshole. Why do you treat the public like this? And you never, look, as a citizen, you have the right. If an officer or code enforcement came to the house, which they did, you never would even give that to me. So that offended me, because you lied to my kids that day. That's why that offended me. And I tried to resolve that. And you treat the public, and in the other cases I documented, I didn't want to give the name of the other name I gave. Those are crimes that in society you're in prison for. But yet on your PD, you had that run rampant. And you say, John, what happened to those officers? They rose the ranks here. That's what happened. Now, give me the names. I requested this. This is of the two code enforcement people that lied to my daughter Debbie that day. You showed up at the house, you should have a record. I went out of my way, all the way to code enforcement, which is now at City Hall, and went upstairs and said, I just want the names of the people, because they lied to my daughter. And you did not give me the code enforcement. You came out with a fake printout of a picture of two other law enforcement. And you said, oh, they took the pictures. No, they didn't take the pictures of the mattress being unloaded. Why do you lie? So we're requesting, out of all of the other things, give me the names, because those men lied to my daughter. That offended me.